Follow your heart. So cliche, and I think a little bit misunderstood. If we actually all understood what following your heart can do and what it really is, I think we'd all, at least most of us, would be fighting for our teachers to be teaching this to our children in school. But why follow your heart? It'll lead you down to unlogical, unrealistic, uncontrolling, unsafe pathways. It'll lead you to the unknown. Why would you want to do that? That's the exact reason why we should listen to our heart. Our hearts are the closest thing to real life. Because life isn't logical. Life isn't realistic. Life cannot be controlled as much as you think it can be. It cannot. Have you guys ever had that feeling inside you that cannot be explained? You know, that feeling that you want to go skydiving and you have no idea where that feeling came from. Your mind can't fathom, well, why? Your mind's telling you, what are you doing, man? You could die. You could fucking die. Why the hell are you gonna jump off a cliff? Or an airplane? But your heart's like, I don't know, I just want to do it. You see, your brain's amazing, but it can only do what a brain can do. And those things are calculating. Your brain can calculate. It can calculate numbers. It can calculate logic. Your brain can also memorize. But think about it. Memorizing and calculating all comes from what? A past result. From someone who's already created it. From someone who's already invented that calculation, that equation that you need to calculate. When you memorize, you memorized past things. There's nothing new with the brain. Osho says the brain is like a businessman and the heart is like a gambler. So yes, the brain is very important. You need the brain. The mind needs to be strong. It needs to be free so it can think for itself, yeah. But it's one side. In our current system where we're all brain heavy and we're always thinking with our head, our heart becomes undeveloped. But our brain is overdeveloped, really. We're always thinking too much. We're always over-calculating. We're always thinking what's the most logical right thing to do. It's kind of, when you think with the brain, life becomes really boring. There's no fun, there's no pizzazz. But when you think about the heart, your inner intelligence, that small voice whispering to you every morning, at least it does to me. You see, it's hard to explain why your heart feels things, because it doesn't work like the brain. The brain becomes developed by teachers, by teachings, by books, knowledge, understanding, all those things. But your heart, who develops the heart? You can't tell a musician who's been loving music since he was a kid, and his parents were his dad was a lawyer and his mom's a nurse. He cannot explain how music came into his heart. He can't tell you, well, my dad told me I needed to do music, so I did music, and I love it. Nope, that never happens. It's unexplainable. So where does that feeling come from? That's the big mystery, right? The inner intelligence is a very complicated, I think, subject. It's something I could talk about for a long time. It's something I can't wait to explore and learn more about. But as of now, I know that it is my guide. So when people ask me, what is the heart? What is your intuition? The best thing I can come up with is this. Imagine life and your heart have a relationship. Life has all these awesome gifts, all treasures, exciting memories to give you, right? But the only way you can go find those memories and treasures and, gifts that life has in store for you is if you have a map to get there. So life asks your heart to guide you to all those gifts, treasures, and memories. Now picture this. Your heart is a map, and the only thing on that map is a "you are here" dot. And then coming out of that "you are here," 4 or 5 dotted lines pointing you into a direction. But it doesn't tell you the destination. It leads you to the unknown. So what do? How could you go about a map and follow directions from a map that doesn't tell you where to go? Where it is telling you where to go, it doesn't tell you where you're going to end up at the end. So if you decide to let the heart guide you, follow those dotted lines, as soon as you end up at the end of the last dotted line, something will appear with a new set of dots. You see how it's working? Your heart will lead you down a crazy pathway, and you'll be confused if you think about it too much. See, your heart knows where all the treasure is. It knows where all the happiness, greatness, freedom is. You just have to have the faith to follow it. And it's hard. I know it is. Especially in the society that we live in now. The system that is upon us makes it hard. Makes it hard to have faith in it because it never teaches it. Nobody ever knows about it. So if you're in between the ages of 17 to 25 and you're trying to figure out what you want to do in life, here's my suggestion to you. Alan Watts said, what would you do if money was no object? And that's the question I'm going to ask you guys to ask yourselves. What would you do if money was no object? Would you play sports? Would you become a carpenter? Would you get into photography? Would you still get into law? Would you love the art of helping people and become a doctor? Do things because you love it. Do things because it makes you feel really good and happy. Don't confuse pleasure and happiness. Humanity's really confused. It's going after possessions, money, social status, and we end up miserable. So if you feel like you don't know what to do with your life, go to a place you could just be alone and quiet, a place where it makes you feel good. Just feel. Don't think, but feel what you want to do. Dig down deep and write it down. Little by little, you'll start to connect the dots. Go into your treasure map. Your heart houses your destiny. It is your responsibility to fulfill your destiny, because that is where your craft, greatness, legacy lies. When you follow your heart, you learn more about yourself. You become yourself. You become at peace with who you are. It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. So don't let other people tell you what you can and cannot do, because they don't know. Don't try to explain to them, oh my God, I figured out what I want to do with my life. I'm completely at peace with myself. Let me tell everyone, because they won't understand. They'll most likely make fun of you. Just when you finally figure out your first couple steps on what you need to do, keep it to yourself and work at it. Be it. When your heart speaks to you, when that little voice speaks to you, you'll know. Embrace it. You have to go full throttle, 150% into that idea that the heart, your inner intelligence, your small voice has in store for you. You have to listen to it, and you'll be doing crazy things, and you won't know how you got there. You'll follow your heart little by little, and you'll start going through things in life, and by the end, you'll be like, how the fuck did I get here? But you'll be happy. Life is so amazing. It's got so much cool things waiting for you. We've just completely turned everything around, made it complicated. Now all of a sudden you need a Mercedes to feel accepted, or you need a mansion or a nice job to feel accepted. It's fucking terrible. There's so much more to life than a fucking Mercedes. We all know what living an average lifestyle can do. We know it already. You're gonna get a job eventually. If you have a degree, you're gonna make it. You're gonna get by. You're gonna have a salary. Don't worry. You're gonna have a mortgage. It's all fine. You can get loans everywhere. You'll be okay. You'll have retirement money. It'll be fine. But there's too much of that, and that's why I'm doing what I do. Because I am simply curious, and I am simply experimenting a different lifestyle. You can't go crazy on the heart either. It's all about learning to balance the mind and the heart together. Just like the sun and the moon. If Earth was only sunny. If Earth was only sunny, there was only sunlight, everything would be dried and destroyed, burst into flames. But then if it was only night, all the plants would die because there's no sunlight. So balance your mind with your heart. Life isn't supposed to work around you. You work around life. You can't prepare for life, guys. You can't. No matter what you do, you can't control it either. So it's best just to become a piece of grass and flow with it. Flow with the wind. Everything will turn out okay, and probably better than you expected. So guys, have fun, be happy, chase greatness, become freedom, follow your heart.